The Lebanese Air Force is the aerial warfare branch of the Lebanese Armed Forces. The seal of the Air Force is a roundel with two wings and a Lebanese cedar tree, surrounded by two laurel leaves on a blue background. History: the Lebanese Air Force was established in 1949 under the command of then-Lieutenant Colonel Emil Boustany, who later became commander of the army. Soon after its establishment, a number of aircraft were donated by the British, French, and Italian governments, with additional aircraft donated by Britain and Italy later that same year. Britain donated 4 Percival Prentices and 2 World War II-era Percival Proctors, while Italy donated 4 Savoia Marchetti SM-79 bombers, which were mainly used for transportation. In 1953, jet fighters were introduced when 16 de Havilland Vampire jets were received. The first Hawker Hunters arrived in 1959 and were followed by additional fighters through 1977. In 1968, 12 Mirage IIELs were delivered from France but were grounded in the late 1970s due to lack of funds. In 2000, the grounded Mirages were sold to Pakistan. The Air Force, in the absence of advanced fixed-wing aircraft, currently relies on a helicopter force and Hawker Hunter jets that were put back in service in late 2008. The Lebanese Air Force consists of 6 squadrons distributed between 3 air bases. Combat history: the Lebanese Air Force has a long history operating Hawker Hunter jets since 1958. A Lebanese Hawker Hunter shot down an Israeli jet over Kfar Mishki in the early 1960s and its pilot was captured by the Lebanese Armed Forces. One Lebanese Hawker Hunter was shot down on the first day of the Six-Day War by the Israeli Air Force. The Hawker Hunters have not flown any combat sorties since September 17, 1983. This was at a time when the French and Americans were rebuilding the Lebanese army. 3 FMK-70s were made airworthy, and resumed combat operations on September 15. Because the main airfield, Rayak Air Base, had been shelled by Syrian forces, the Hunters had to operate from an airfield in Byblos. The Hunters were finally grounded in 1994 after a minor accident with one of the T-66 trainers during landing, and the remaining 8 were stored in Rayak. The last loss took place in 1989 near Batroun during routine training, when the undercarriage failed to lower, causing the jet to crash. The pilot ejected safely from the doomed aircraft and landed in the Mediterranean Sea, where he was promptly rescued by the Syrian army, which then handed him over to Suleiman Frangier, who in turn handed him over to the Lebanese army at the Al Madfoun crossing. During operations in the Nahr el-Bared camp in North Lebanon, lacking any airworthy, fixed-wing strike aircraft, the Lebanese army modified several UH-1 Huey helicopters to permit the carrying of 500-pound Mark 82 and 1,000-pound Mark 83 bombs, as well as Matra SNEB 68mm rocket pods. Special mounting pads engineered by the Lebanese army were attached to each Huey on the sights and belly to carry the bombs. The Air Force, in collaboration with the Engineering Regiment, developed and used 2 dumb bombs variants, the 250 kg LAF-GSER-2 and the 400 kg LAF-GSER-3. Usually, helicopters cannot bomb using this method, in comparison to ground attack aircraft, so this became one of the rare moments in history during which helicopters were used in such a way. The Lebanese army also made extensive use of all copyright Rosparty Al-Ghazals armed with Euromissile hot anti-tank guided missiles and machine gun pods. Air bases: the Lebanese Air Force has 3 bases: Beirut Air Base, Beirut International Airport, 8th Squadron, 10th Squadron, 11th Squadron, 16th Squadron. Rayak Air Base, 2nd Squadron, 12th Squadron, 15th Squadron. Klaat Air Base, René Mohammed Airport, 14th Squadron. Wujah al-Hajjar Air Base, newly established, still not fully operational. Includes Lebanese Army Special Forces School. Squadrons: 2nd Squadron, employs Hunter Mk-66C, Hunter Mk-70A, and AC-208B Combat Caravan. 8th Squadron, employs Aerospatiale SA-342 Gazelle, 9th Squadron, employs IAR-330 SM Puma, 10th Squadron, employs UH-1 Hour, 11th Squadron, employs UH-1 Hour, 12th Squadron, employs UH-1 hour. The helicopters of this squadron are on loan from the squadrons at Beirut Air Base. 14th Squadron, employs UH-1 hour. The helicopters of this squadron are on loan from the squadrons at Kuwait Air Base. 15th Squadron, employs Robinson Raven A44-2. The squadron is part of the Aviation School, which is also based at RAC. 16th Squadron, employs Sikorsky S-61 NMKII. Aircraft. Current inventory. References.